want to try Veganuary. Amazing! My name is Megan. I've been vegan for 5 years, and these are my top tips to go and stay vegan through January and maybe even beyond. Veganuary is a challenge encouraging people all around the world to go plant-based for the month of January and beyond. According to the Vegan Society, veganism is a philosophy and way of living which seeks to exclude, as far as is possible and practicable, all forms of exploitation of and cruelty to animals for food, clothing, or any other purpose. In dietary terms, it denotes the practice of dispensing with all products derived wholly or partly from animals. In simple terms, veganism is avoiding all animal products in your diet and lifestyle. So in this video, I want to share my Veganuary starter kit. This starter kit will of course include products and pantry staples, but also some tips for mindset and setting expectations and other resources that will help set you up for success. So first and foremost, define your why. Why are you doing Veganuary? There are many reasons that may have piqued your interest in Veganuary, including improving your health, reducing your environmental footprint, or reducing animal cruelty, or all of the above. It's important to define your why so that you can come back to it when things get hard. Personally, my why has evolved over the years, but the strongest motivator that's kept me vegan for 5 years is the animal ethics piece. Whenever I have found myself craving animal products or wondering if it's all worthwhile, I just think about all the animals I can save by keeping them off of my plate. It's also really helpful to have a snappy reply when people ask you why you're doing Veganuary. Secondly, it's so important to have an open mind coming into Veganuary and be willing to learn about this way of living even beyond your initial why. This process is definitely going to push you outside your comfort zone. You're going to be trying new recipes, you're going to be trying new restaurants, you're going to be having new conversations with people that might be a little bit uncomfortable. Having an open mind is going to make this a much more enjoyable experience for you. Also understand that the food is not going to taste exactly how you remember animal-based food tasting. Have an open mind about the new flavors and recipes that you're trying, and be willing to find your new favorite dish. My third tip, and this is an important one, is to have a basic understanding of vegan nutrition. It's been proven again and again that a vegan diet can be healthy for all stages of life, all the way from childhood to pregnancy to later adulthood. But it's important to have a balanced vegan diet. Just like any diet, you can't only eat one food group or only eat junk food. Do some basic research and understand where you can get your carbs, where you can get your fats, your vitamins, your proteins. There's no need to get really strict about it or start tracking macros or anything like that, but just having a basic understanding will help you build balanced meals. I'll leave some great resources in the description for you to get started on that research. So set change, I'm in my kitchen now, and let's talk about pantry staples. Quick disclaimer, you by no means have to go out and buy all of these ingredients. This is just inspiration. So take what sounds interesting to you, take what sounds good, and run with that and try things slowly. You don't have to go and do this massive grocery shop and buy everything that I'm recommending. Definitely don't do that. Just do what sounds good to you, what feels good, and kind of go from there. These are just ideas to kind of spark inspiration for you. I'll touch on convenience foods and vegan alternatives in my next point. So right now I just want to talk about kind of everyday items that you might have in your cupboard or in your fridge. First of all, don't be intimidated. You probably already have a ton of vegan ingredients in your cupboard without even realizing. Everything from oats, nut butters, seeds, rice, pasta, beans, lentils, chickpeas, you name it. All of these are just naturally vegan, and you probably already have a bunch of them in your cupboard. You're already off to a great start. For things that you might need to swap, my recommendation is to look at the things that you use on a daily basis. So if you have milk in your coffee or milk in your cereal, why don't you try swapping to an oat milk or an almond milk or whatever sounds most delicious to you. If you use butter on your toast in the morning, then why not just try a vegan butter or a vegan margarine like this Basil one? This one's really good. If you like yogurt in the morning, why not try a coconut-based yogurt? There's tons of really delicious tasting ones. There's also almond and cashew-based ones, but I personally have a nut allergy, so I like this coconut one. If you like creamer in your coffee, there's lots of coconut and oat-based coffee creamers now. So it's very easy to kind of just swap the things that you use on a daily basis to vegan alternatives, and then you can build from there. After doing your research on nutrition, you'll have a good idea of the food groups that you need to stock up on. Definitely stock up on some easy protein sources like chickpeas, kidney beans, black beans, lentils, hummus, nuts, seeds, and of course, tofu. Grains are also super important to bulk out your meals, so make sure you have a variety of rice, pasta, other types of grains like quinoa. A hack that I like to use is to get kind of like a variety of different types of rice. So I like to have white rice, brown rice, wild rice, sushi rice in the cupboard so that it kind of gives a little bit more variety to my meals. And of course, you're gonna need lots of fruit and veg. Something I like to do is have some frozen fruit and veg in the freezer so it's easy access and you always have some on hand. For veg, I really like to have some frozen broccoli, frozen green beans, also green peas, edamame, and some kale and spinach. So it's super easy to add them into stir fries, into curries, different recipes like that. If you've forgotten to buy some fresh produce, you always have some veg on hand, which is super handy. In terms of fruit, I also like to have some frozen fruit on hand for smoothies, smoothie bowls, that kind of thing. And lastly, make sure you have a variety of flavor enhancers. Veganuary is a great opportunity to kind of step outside your flavor comfort zone and find new favorites. So I definitely recommend trying nutritional yeast if you like that cheesy flavor. This is also great because it's packed with vitamin B12 as well. I also really recommend trying some liquid smoke. This is great if you kind of want that smoky kind of barbecue flavor. Coconut milk, of course, for creaminess, to add this to curries, soups, any kind of sauces that you're making. I also recommend looking for a vegan curry paste. This is just a super easy way to kind of throw together a curry. You just get maybe some chickpeas and some veg, whip up some rice, and that's a super quick, healthy, easy meal. Another thing that's definitely like not necessary, but if you're interested in it, I do really enjoy having a vegan protein powder available. This isn't something that I have every day. It's not even something I have every week, but it's definitely convenient to have this. Like if you just need a quick snack, you're heading out the door and you're a bit hungry, just whip up a quick protein shake on the go. I really like this one. It's the Good Protein strawberries and cream flavor. There's lots of vegan protein powders. I know lots of people really like the Vega brand. We'll just say that it's a supplement. This is not a meal replacement, but it is super handy if you just need kind of snack in between meals, something to supplement and know that you're getting a little boost of protein. And it also comes with a lot of other kind of vitamins and minerals in there as well. Okay, now for the part that you've all been waiting for, vegan junk food. So vegan alternatives and processed foods like the vegan meats, the vegan cheeses, junk foods, kind of ready meals, that sort of thing. They've gotten a lot of controversy in the last few years, and I'm not gonna go into like the health discussion on that. But I do really want to talk about how they can support your vegan journey long term. Personally, the times where it felt the most difficult to stay vegan were the times that I was just tired, exhausted after a long day at work, or I was sick and I was just craving something familiar, something comforting, something nostalgic. And what I wanted to reach for was something that was animal-based or something that I knew before I went vegan. So this is exactly where I think that vegan junk foods and convenience foods have a place. I'll preface this by saying I'm by no means a nutritionist. If you're doing Veganuary because for primarily health reasons, then maybe this won't align. So feel free to skip to the next section. But I personally believe that mental health should also be kind of factored in when you're planning a diet long term. And I think that these convenience foods, when eaten in balance with whole foods, of course, can really add a lot of joy and flexibility to your diet, which can be great for your mental health and kind of the sustainability of being vegan. Think of the foods that you naturally crave after a long day of work, you're exhausted, you can't be bothered to cook, or you're feeling a bit sick and you just want something comforting, something familiar that's gonna help make you feel better. What are those foods and how can you find a vegan alternative for those so that it'll set you up for success in those moments during Veganuary? I like to have a few boxes of vegan mac and cheese because this is super nostalgic for me. I did do a video all about this if you're interested in this specific brand, but there's lots of brands that do vegan mac and cheese. I also like to have some vegan cheese on hand for when I want just some kind of cheese and crackers. I really like this dairy-free Boursin cheese. We also usually have some vegan sausages or vegan meatballs in the freezer for kind of a nice, easy, and satisfying protein source. We really like the Beyond sausages, and I've talked about the IKEA plant balls on this channel multiple times. In terms of sweets and desserts, I am a huge chocolate lover, so I always have some vegan chocolate on hand. Let me know if you want a whole video about vegan chocolate, because I have lots of thoughts and opinions on that, and I've definitely tried a lot and have my favorites, so let me know if you want a video on that. I also really love the Ben & Jerry's non-dairy ice cream. They do lots of different flavors. This is a chocolate chip cookie dough, which is phenomenal. Also, I don't know if you know this, but a lot of your favorite nostalgic snack foods are accidentally vegan. Did you know that Oreos are vegan? The original Flavour Ritz crackers are vegan, at least in Canada they are. The vegetable Mr. Noodles are vegan. Biscoff cookies are vegan. Maynard's candies, so think fuzzy peaches, Swedish berries, those are all vegan. And many flavors of like breakfast cereals, crackers, and chips are vegan. Just do a quick Google to confirm. Think of the foods that you know that you're really gonna crave and it will be really hard to give up, and realize that you don't have to give them up. You can find vegan versions of them and set yourself up for success. I highly recommend doing this early so you have the things in your cupboard and you can feel okay about indulging in them and knowing that you're still on track with your Veganuary goals. There are so many amazing vegan resources out there now. I could never name them all, but I wanted to share some of my favorites here, and I'll also leave them in the description for easy access. So apps like A Billion and Happy Cow are super helpful to find new vegan products or new vegan restaurants and read people's reviews. Or if you're traveling, this is when I use these apps a lot. So you can they have like a map function, and you can search whatever city that you're visiting and it'll pop up all of the vegan restaurants nearby, and you can see people's reviews and what kind of meals they have and their menus and everything. So also Reddit is great if you have very specific questions. Pinterest is my go-to for finding and saving new vegan recipes. Definitely recommend creating like a Veganuary Pinterest board and pinning lots of recipes that you're excited to try, so that when you're doing your meal plans for the week or grocery shops, you can just pop back in there and get some inspiration. Definitely follow a few vegan content creators for recipe inspiration and lifestyle tips. Some of my favorites here on YouTube are Madeline Olivia, Nicole Whittle, Freya and Charlie, and shameless plug, my channel. A bonus tip is to try a meal prep service that has vegan options. I know this won't be accessible to everyone, but if you have a meal prep service in your area, I highly recommend trying this even for just 1 or 2 weeks to give you some recipe inspiration and ideas that you might not otherwise come across, and to kind of broaden your food horizons. This has really helped me and my partner kind of get out of recipe ruts, or like if we're feeling a bit uninspired in the kitchen, kind of injecting some new recipes and new types of cuisines into our routines. Do you know that a lot of these services offer really steep discounts for new members? So you can try out a week for like, I think we tried out our first week for like $15 or something. So it was more of an accessible price point, and then you can keep those recipes forever. So my next tip is to make a bucket list of recipes and restaurants that you want to try in Veganuary. I feel like gamifying Veganuary can make it a lot more fun, also make it a little bit more accessible, kind of introduced to your social circle. You can approach your friends and family and say, hey, do you want to help me check off this bucket list? I'm trying to broaden my food horizons. And then hopefully they'd be more open to trying new restaurants with you. Also, I really like this idea for when you're feeling uninspired, or you're just partway through the month and you're just like, oh, like I don't know what to make anymore. If you need to kind of reignite that excitement, then you can go back to your bucket list and say, oh yeah, these are all the things that I was excited about at the beginning of the month, and kind of get excited again and inspired to keep going. And on the topic of introducing your friends and family to this new lifestyle shift, that can be tricky and it can take some time to navigate. So from my own experience, I know that that can be a little bit isolating at the beginning. So I highly recommend trying to find some sort of a community or an accountability buddy that can be kind of a sounding board for you through this process. So this can be like an online community that you find through Reddit or social media, or it can be an in-person community. I like to use the Meetup app, and there's a couple of vegan meetup groups there. You can go out to eat, try new restaurants, or just meet up and talk about the experience of being plant-based. It's really helpful to have people that you can go to that kind of understand and can relate to what you're experiencing. And last but certainly not least is be patient and be kind to yourself. This is a big lifestyle shift and it is going to be challenging at times. Think back to your why and use that as motivation to get back up and keep going. It will get easier and easier each time, I promise. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. As I mentioned, I'll leave all of the resources in the description below. If you have any other top tips for people that are trying Veganuary for the first time or just trying to go a little bit more plant-based, please leave those in the comments too. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more vegan food and lifestyle content. And I'll see you very soon in another video. Bye.